Max Impactors. A few years ago, I did a video on how to make a worm bin out of a 5-gallon bucket. Now that video, I showed how to make kind of like layers, and then once the worms worked down in the bottom layer, they would move up the layers. Well, over the years, I've actually created more of a flow-through system that works a lot better. This system is very similar in construction to my original one. In other words, it has two buckets here, and this bucket, the top bucket fits in the bottom bucket. It still has 1/4-inch holes in the bottom. The top bucket has my worms in it. But the advantage of this one is it almost totally works off of compost tea. So this is kind of how it works. You just turn on the bottom here, and you'll take water out. And what you do is every day, I take out about 1 quart of water that becomes tea, and then I pour 1 quart of water into the top. So let's go over to construction a little bit on this one. So first off is I have a lid. I don't think lids are really required. I used to just use a towel on the top, but you have a lid. You always put some big holes in it for airflow. I use a piece of, this is a fabric that you'd use in your garden, and I cut a piece of fabric, and the reason why is I keep it on the top here. This just keeps insects and bugs and stuff from flying out of it or getting into it. And then you just, I just set the top on. I don't even cinch it down. Now, you're gonna do the worm bin exactly the same way on inside. You throw your worms in, you fill it up with stuff, you know, from that you're gonna compost. A few things about the compost I put in here. First off is I try to avoid pits and shells of like nuts and things like that, hard things in here, because they're gonna just take too long to break down. And what I do is every week I go in here and I fill it up to the top with some compost. I do that once a week. And then what happens is down here at the bottom, the worms kind of work. You pour the water through, and that draws some of the completed vermicompost down into the bottom of it. And in the bottom, it kind of sits and makes the tea. Then every day I draw off the additional water that I have, which is usually about 1 quart size. And I also want to go over to valve. This valve, actually, I put a valve in the bottom to draw it out. And this valve, I actually got one of those Berkey filters, and it came with one of these little spigots, but we bought the stainless steel one, so I actually reuse this right here. And to seal it, I used a little Flex Seal around the outside and the inside just to make sure that I didn't have any leaks. But it's very simple. You just pour this out, and then once you, I usually use the same jug here. I take this, pour it over some plants, and then I have a line on it, which is at 1 quart. I like using this pitcher because it's just a little bigger, but it has a line on it that's 1 quart. Then I go back, grab some water, and then I just take the water, and if you can see the top of the bin here, I just put my greens in here, and then I just pour it over the top. And what you're gonna find is that this just continues to just keep sinking down every week. You just keep on adding stuff, and then it just keeps sinking down. And this has been running for 3 months. No problems with it at all. Just keeps on flowing through, and I just keep on throwing the compost tea in the garden. All right, guys. Well, I hope you love this video, and don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video.